What's going on, guys? So we're back with another video, something a little bit different this time. We're doing a little bit of maintenance on one of our friend's cars. Also got a full service to do on a Kia Picanto, so that should be good fun. Let's do this! So first we're going to swap the airbox out, and then we're going to check the spark plugs. She's just had an oil filter and an oil change, so we don't need to do that. Oil was a little bit low, but it's I think she'll get away with it. And then we're just going to do a general clean and move on to the next one. Oh shit. Are you filming? Oh, thank God for that. Oh my God. Okay, so 3 bolts seem to come out quite nicely. The 4th bolt seems a little bit stuck, so I think we're going to do a little bit of pulling action to try and get it off. It seems to be spinning in the plastic, but if I try and pull this up and then take it out like that, that puts a little bit of pressure behind it and it pops off just like that. Happy days. So guys, this is the importance of doing routine maintenance on your car. Figured out by the looks of it, this belt, which is on the engine, which also drives the alternator and the air conditioning, is starting to crack on the top here, if you can see that. And let's see it focus, yeah, there we go. And if you also look, if you can see a little bit further down here, it is actually starting to flare. The belt is starting to flare on the bottom. So I think that needs a new belt, which I'm not sure when the last time it was done was, but we sure we need to put a new belt on that, so I think that'll be the next job. Not today, but we'll get one ordered in and we'll swap that one over. So, yeah. Okay guys, so the spark plug's going back in. Whenever you're putting spark plugs in, what you want to do is you want to take your tool off of the ratchet, you want to place it in there, and you want to just spin it by hand, just to make sure that you're not actually cross-threading it. And once it's actually in there and you don't get any spark plug on the end, that means that it's got the threads, and you can start putting your tool on and start ratcheting. Okay guys, so on closer inspection of the belt, it does look like it's cracking all the way around. It's flaring a little bit more than I thought. So I've got a spare belt which I took off my 2012 Fiesta. It looks in a lot better condition than what this one does, so hopefully they're going to be the same size, so I can just swap this with this one, and you can rest assured that hopefully it's not going to break down anytime soon. So what we'll do is we'll order a new one anyway and put this one on for now, and should be good to go. Okay guys, so whenever you're using some sort of jack or anything and you're going to go underneath the car, make sure you get yourself some axle stands. I've got these ones which were relatively cheap actually from Halfords, and I've also got some bigger ones in the garage as well. But whenever you're going underneath, always use these. Okay, so I've just had a look around the engine, around the bottom of the engine, and I can't actually see a tensioner, which it was pretty easy to do it on my own car, the 2012 Fiesta, because it had a tensioner which could put a bar behind, take the tension off the belt. They could take the tension off the belt and then just swap it out from there. So I think the one that I took off my car is like this. And basically this rotates. Once it's on the car, it's a little bit hard to do it by hand, but this rotates like that. That's bolted onto the engine, put a bar behind here, and you sort of like pivot like that, and this takes the tension off the belt, and then you can just take the belt off. In this case, alternator. So the alternator is on 3 bolts. It's on a bolt underneath the alternator and then 2 bolts on the top. If you loosen the one underneath the alternator, don't take it off, and then the 2 on the top, if you take them out like you've just seen, the bolts right here, do not lose them. If you take them out, and then basically it rotates on the bottom bolt, so that's why you don't need to take the bottom bolt out. It rotates on the bottom bolt and the pulley for the alternator goes down, which releases tension on the belt. So let's continue. Okay guys, so I've taken these top 2 bolts off, and as you can see there is now slack on the alternator, which allows this pulley to rotate down just like that, and it takes tension off the belt. So what I did was I stuck a bar down onto this this runner here, and I just teased the belt off. It wouldn't come off at first, if I'm honest, but just teased the belt off because this doesn't actually have a ridge on it, so I'm pretty sure that's how you get it off. Okay, so just excuse my dirty hands, but you can see, if you can see a hole straight through the belt there, it's actually coming away at the edges here, and you can see it's a lot worse than first expected. So if you actually do that, you can also see the cracks in it. I think this is the hot and cold weather, and I'm not sure the last time it was actually replaced. So there's cracks on the inside, so the one I'm going to replace it with, hopefully it's the same size and is in a lot better condition than this one. Okay, so you can see the difference here. This is the belt that I took off my Fiesta, and this is the belt that's just come off this Fiesta now, so hopefully they're going to be the same size. I think we may have a problem. Here's one way to check. Make sure both the belts on the back of your shoe are in the same place. Pull the belts on the side of your shoe, and you can figure out that the belts are different sizes. So that's that plan out the window. Ouch. Yeah, stop it! You're making my leg do that! going on, guys? So we've got the package, we've got the belt. We've got the belt for the friend's car, so we can fit that on where the alternator, the serpentine belt, and get that fitted on. It's brand new, so we're going to open this up and make sure it's the correct size, make sure it's the correct belt. Quickly fit it on, should take 5 or 10 minutes and we should be good. Why do I keep dropping things? Well guys, I've dropped the socket again in the engine somewhere. I need to put ropes on all these things so I don't drop them. Right, I've got it. Ouch! 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 And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you shouldn't drop things. So the belt is on. So this is going to be a little bit harder because this belt is not stretched like the old one used to be, so it will be a bit tighter. Well guys, I definitely needed more than 2 hands to do that. But anyway, I think it's because it's a brand new belt and it's not been stretched at all. It was very tight. What I basically did was I got underneath, ouch, underneath the car. Holy crap. I used this end of this bar. I put this end of this bar between the chassis rail and where the belt was, and then I just teased it. Well, I say teased it. I made it fit onto that pulley just up there. So that was a pain in the ass, but now what we need to do is get the alternator back into place. This is very tight actually, this belt. We'll push the alternator back and then we'll see the tightness of the belt once the alternator goes back. Okay guys, so just like that, make sure you keep the bar in place here and you keep pressure against the alternator when you're doing these bolts up, because you may find that you ruin the threads of the bolts. Just come underneath, make sure everything looks the way it should. There is still some slack on the belt like that, so there should be a little bit of slack. This was actually a little bit more difficult than what I anticipated, but it's on now anyway, so well, everything seems good. It's got rid of the squeak that was also coming from the belt, which is good. Make sure you check things after you've started it. Make sure nothing looks loose. Make sure your bolts are still tightened. Let me zoom out. That's better. Make sure the bolts are still tightened. Let's see. The belt's still got some slack on it. So what you don't want is a very tight belt, because a very tight belt is prone to snap. So we still do have, I don't think I can get it in without, there's still slack on the belt easily. I'm not really putting much effort into that, if you can see it there. So there's plenty of slack still on the belt, and we should be good. So that's that one done. I think you guys should make sure you stay tuned because there's some very good content coming to this channel. We're just about to go to Amsterdam for a State of Trance, which is in Utrecht, and I'm very excited for that. That's something I've always wanted to do. And I will be making a music video out of it as well. So sort of like a first-person music video, which will be released in a couple of weeks from now, because I've got a couple of well, I've actually got 5 videos to edit for you guys. One being my brother's new build that will be uploaded 2 weeks from today, or a week from today actually. Yeah, a week from today. And we will have a couple of other exciting things coming to the channel as well, so hopefully you guys stick by, and thank you very much for watching.